most restaurants are very good about accommodating you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ajoy has said this before. Just tell them that you are allergic to
works.
it, ghee, butter, or cream in this, and they're very good about accommodating you. So I think we've talked about appetizers.
Yeah. What about the mains? I mean, what do you think they're like for ready-made ones, right? I mean, we're talking about things to pick up from the store or something.
Yeah, or catered, or ordering from a restaurant or something if you're, having a big party and you're not going to make it all yourself. So I think we've probably driven this home multiple times, but we're lucky enough in India to have a staple which can be made vegan easily, which is just dal and rice. This might be for like the kids at the party that don't want anything fancy, or the people that don't want anything fancy at the party. Remember, dal and rice can eat. Of course, the rice, as long as it's not made with ghee, is vegan. And dal, as long as it's not made with ghee or cream or butter, is also vegan. And most restaurants are very good about accommodating you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ajoy has said this before. Just tell them that you are allergic to it. And I will have, an anaphylactic reaction if there's any ghee, butter, or cream in this, and they're very good about accommodating you. Also, when you have sabzi, most Indian sabzis
are vegetables.
Yes. Sorry. Anyway, like palak, which is spinach, or aloo gobi, which is potato and cauliflower, or brinjal, which is eggplant, et cetera, can be also made vegan, as simple as dal can be made vegan. So if it's not made in ghee, if it's made in olive oil or oil, then it becomes vegan. So that is, again, easy substitute that you can request. And another easy substitute, which may not be as simple, but is simpler than it used to be, is substituting tofu for paneer. If you're making it yourself, then obviously that's a simple substitute. Restaurants can do it. We've had restaurants do it, but you do have to specifically ask. So that's something to do. Paneer, especially the tofu here, at least in Mumbai, is very dense, which is good. So it tastes, I think, very similar to paneer, at least the texture, maybe not the flavor. Yep. And it absorbs flavor very well, all the spices and masalas. So don't feel like as a vegetarian or a vegan, you have to have paneer for protein. That's a whole other podcast. And,
I think I mentioned this earlier in some other podcast, but if you're thinking of ordering like a palak dish and they say, oh, we have palak paneer, you can ask them to substitute paneer with potatoes, and they'll be more than happy because...
Or just leave it out altogether.
Or leave it out because, they're saving money. So they'll be very happy to do that.
The restaurant will be very happy.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget about our South Indian dishes, which actually, for the most part, are inherently vegan because it's unusual to have, in an authentic South Indian dish, to have cream or yogurt or ghee. Well, ghee might be, but the other ones usually are not creamy. Usually they're made with coconut oil. So you could have a South Indian party, dosa, sambar, idli, uttapa, etc., and it'll all be vegan. You don't have to tell the restaurant to change anything. So that is great. Also, speaking of inherently vegan Indian things, Indian Chinese, or even just regular Chinese, authentic Chinese food, if you get the vegetarian, is vegan because, again, they don't use cream and butter. At least it shouldn't be there if it's authentic. They use olive oil or sesame oil in their cooking. So, and nice crispy vegetables. Everyone loves Indian Chinese, or at least they should. So that'll be a crowd pleaser. Dim sum, Hakka noodles, all of these things, easily can be provided because they're already vegan. Speaking of inherently vegan, I'm just going to talk about different cuisines that you can order from and like where you would find the things that could be veganized, I guess. So Italian food, aglio olio, as long as you get it without the Parmesan cheese, is vegan. That's a pasta dish basically with olive oil, garlic, and some herbs and peppers. Pizza without cheese. I know that sounds like a fallacy to many people, but actually I've seen more and more restaurants now serve pizza with just marinara sauce or pesto. And vegetables on top or whatever.
Did you know that the original pizza never had cheese in it?
I did not.
Yep. Did not have cheese in it. It just had whatever was scrapes left over from parties was thrown on a piece of bread.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you're being more authentic than if you have a cheeseless pizza. But you really can taste the vegetables more and the crust more, I think, with a cheeseless pizza.
Yeah.
And there, of course, there is vegan cheese. I would not recommend most vegan cheeses unless you make it yourself, but that's a whole
Your cheeses are good.
Well, yes, of course.
Of course.
And then, so that's Italian. Of course, if it's a good Italian restaurant, garlic bread would also be vegan because they use olive oil instead of butter. For Mexican food, again, it's mostly beans, rice, and vegetables, right? So if you leave out the cheese, sour cream, which is more of like an Americanized Mexican Tex-Mex, just nice fresh vegetables with beans is an amazing Mexican. And we talked about the guacamole already. Mediterranean, if made properly, should also be should also be vegan. So hummus, we said, falafel, which is chickpea and cracked wheat pakoras, basically. Any of their beautiful salads, couscous, baba ganoush, which is like a hummus and eggplant or brinjal marriage. Again, lots more Mediterranean restaurants popping up these days. Japanese food, you can get lots of good veg sushi as long as it hasn't been doused in cream and cheese. It should be fine. Any of the ramens or soups.
Yes. Sushi or something like that.
Yes. No. Philadelphia roll. And then just more simple things, I guess more on the American side, sandwiches and burgers, if you get them without the cheese and sometimes the mayonnaise, that also could be vegan if it's veg.
Bombay sandwiches, unfortunately, inherently have butter. So I was going to say, otherwise I would have suggested vegetarian Bombay sandwich.
Yeah, that would be a lot of substitutions. No butter, no cheese, no mayo. Yeah. There wouldn't be much left. But you can make your own if you have vegan butter at home. So finally, desserts.
Let's talk about desserts.
Yeah, so I think if we're looking for simple, not make it yourself desserts, it's a little maybe more difficult to find than the mains and the appetizers, but please don't forget about fruit. Fruit, of course, is vegan and healthy on its own, and you can provide different dips for it. So if you have dark chocolate, that's vegan. You can make a dark chocolate kind of a fondue type thing. You can find vegan ice cream, vegan yogurt, and serve it with that. Vegan baked goods are becoming more and more popular. You can find the ready-made vegan baked goods from various vegan cloud kitchens. And finally, vegan chocolates I know you can find. So just serving some nice chocolate and fruit together.
I think we should stop here, I feel, because I think it's time.
It's a good stopping point.
It's a good stopping point. Next one will be a good starting point.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Okay, party on.
All right.
Sorry. We really hope you enjoyed our conversation. Can you think about one thing or an idea that you can start to introduce into your own life that will help make your life healthier and less stressful?
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you can take a few seconds to share the podcast with your friends and family. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful week.
And always remember, your health is literally in your own hands. Making lifestyle changes is not an easy task, but we promise you will be aptly rewarded with a long, healthy, and disease-free life.